welcome back here to the Peach State basketball, Real Deal in the Ville. I'm Marcus Burnett joining you here on the webcast. We've got a matchup here between the Florida Flight and Team Arkansas Elite. It's already a 3-0 advantage in favor of the Flight. We appreciate you joining us here early morning for some live basketball action. Florida Flight with it. We get it out top to Harrison. Bailey Wolf going to try a jumper. That one's just short. Rebound by Team Arkansas Elite. I've got J.L. Hemingway joining me on the mic. Hemi, early morning edition of Prospects Nation TV.
Marcus, glad to be here with you. Real Deal in the Ville, Session 2. We got a good matchup right here. Florida Flight, Team Arkansas Elite. Should be a good one.
3-0 advantage early on. They try to go inside the Wolf. This Florida Flight, Team Arkansas Elite snatches it away. Good shot there by Rakia Lane. Won't go down though. Flight brings it the other way. Here's Tighter. Three-pointer on the way for Flight. In and out. Rodriguez can't knock that one down, but they'll get a second chance. Wolf with the mid-range J.
Marcus, we had a chance to broadcast Florida Flight yesterday on the SUVtv. Their matchup with All Ohio, and we saw just how talented the Flight were. You know, although they dropped that game against All Ohio, we did see the strong guard play from players like Tighter and Rodriguez and Harrison and the like. It's going to be interesting to see how this matchup shapes up here with Team Arkansas Elite.
It's funny you mentioned that matchup, Henry, because you mentioned they did fall short. I think a lot of that was due to what All Ohio Black did right. They were really clicking on all cylinders, got everybody going, and even though Flight played a good game, it was just tough to beat anybody with the pieces All Ohio has and the chemistry and rhythm they played with yesterday.
Yeah, without a doubt. Sometimes you just run into that buzzsaw, but like I was talking with the coaches from the Flight yesterday, Coach Evans and others, I said, sometimes, you just run into that, but, you got to look at the long haul, Guard play in July usually wins out, and they've got a plethora of guards on their roster, so I would expect them to get rolling here this morning and to keep that running through the entire session.
It's a 7-0 ball game early on. Coach Williams imploring his Team Arkansas team, wake up, shake the early morning jitters off. It's easier said than done. Even when you stretch, man, sometimes in those early morning games, it just takes a couple minutes up and down to get going.
Yeah. You got to brush the sleep out of your eye and get it rolling.
So back from the timeout. Lane with it. Off the mark on that short range J. Offensive rebound pulled out. Terrell Dominic gets it back over the lane. Going to get called for the travel there. It's going to go against Ja'Kalen Jones. Subbing into the game for Team Arkansas Elite, number 12, Andrees McCoy, as Madison Jones has a seat. It's a wide open look for Rodriguez. She can't knock it down. Lucky break there for Team Arkansas Elite. She had a wide open look there.
Team Arkansas Elite is it's got a team full of solid prospects. They've got some young kids that we'll be watching for years to come. I had a chance to sit on their game last night, one of the last games of the evening here of Session 1. Number 3, Lang, is definitely the engine of this team. She really gets it going, high energy kid. It's going to be a good matchup between, you know, her and the guards of the Florida Flight. And I think a large part of their success will be based upon how many plays, you know, she is able to make.
See her earning a trip to the free throw line here. Seven to 1 ball game here. That ball lost out of bounds there by Florida Elite. Sorry, Florida Flight to go back to Team Arkansas Elite. India. 11 minutes, 10 seconds left to play here in the first half. Three-pointer on the way. That one's too strong. Rodriguez out top. Chelsea Johnson going to try a three-pointer.
Johnson had a solid day yesterday. Had a chance to watch her against the Carolina All-Stars. Really like her game. Good frame, good skill. She's going to be on somebody's radar after this July.
Definitely another shot missed there by Rakia Lane. Lane's gotten some good mid-range looks. They just haven't went down. Meanwhile, Chelsea Johnson, she's grimacing. Looks like she hurt her hand a little bit, but it's not affecting the shot at all.
In that case, she needs to hurt the hand a little bit more often. But yeah, like I mentioned with Johnson, you know, sometimes on a team full of guards, you can kind of get lost in the mix and the shuffle. You know, but I really project her as a kid that, you know, can play off the ball as a shooting guard. You see her knock down some open jumpers, but she can handle the ball in spots as a point guard, distribute. You know, got all the tools that you would want for a, you know, so-called combo guard.
Helping play her part in this 12-1 advantage here early for the Flight. Arkansas Elite, though they trail right now, plenty of reasons to be optimistic. I think, you know, Florida Flight has had a good start, but Arkansas Elite has gotten some good shots off. When you look at Rakia Lane, she's really been able to get to whatever spot she wants to and get a nice mid-range jumper. It just hasn't been able to fall for her, but you can see that's a shot that she can definitely hit. She has the ball right now.
Yeah, you gotta like Lang's game. You know, maybe a slighter frame, you know, at the guard position, but you know, as we say, she's got the juice. She's got the juice to get past that first defender in there. Has got a little bit of wiggle. And as you can see right there, always trying to make, you know, make the right play. You know, never going to try to do too much or, you know, try to force the issue.
Checking into the game for Team Arkansas Elite, number 44, Kanisha Wilson. We got 9 minutes, 40 seconds and counting left to play. Johnson fouled as she's trying to turn the corner. Substitution in for Florida Flight, number 22, Sierra Cumby. Defense there by Tara Lynn Dominic. She knocks the ball out of bounds. Also into the game, inbounding the ball, number 1, Jessica Font for the Flight.
We've had a chance to work with Font on several different occasions. Nice little left-handed hook there by Tider in the lane. We'll come back to that in a minute, but Font's been an EBA camper for years in the past, and as the aforementioned Lang again making that transition bucket. But talking about Font here, number 1 in gray, no stranger to the Peach State basketball events. Heady handler, high energy kid, a leader out there. Always a pleasure to work with in the camp setting, and always a favorite to watch at that.
Her and the flight currently have an 11-point advantage. Substitution in for the flight, number 0, Randy Chandler.
Tyder makes that free throw there, and you talk about a real deal on the one, session one stock riser. Without a doubt, Stasia Tyder had to have been the biggest stock riser after day one.
And for those that have, may not be familiar with the game or have seen her play, what's the best nutshell summary you can give us of why that stock has risen?
First of all, you look at her frame, broad shoulders. You see that, can take the bump, even initiate the bump sometimes. She's a guard, but look right here. She's posting up on the interior. Just a versatile, option, on the wing. She'll handle it even as a point guard. And what really opened my eyes, yesterday was, her ability to hit the open jumper. She hit multiple three-pointers, in gameplay yesterday. And so when you talk about a big, strong physical force like Tyder, the question is, well, can she hit the jumper? And an overwhelming yes is the answer to that question.
We're going to have a trip to the free throw line here for number 12, Antrese McCoy. No good on the first. Can't convert on the second, so an uneventful trip to the free throw line there. If you're Team Arkansas Elite, you want to be able to take advantage of those free throws. Cumbie feels like she has a mouse in the house, misses the first shot though. That three-pointer no good. Lane with the rebound. Floater won't go there. But still, as I mentioned with Lane, she's getting to the spots where she wants to get to. Shots just aren't falling just yet. McCoy trying to take it all the way. Tough finish right there with Tyder contesting.
Arkansas Elite doing a good job of hanging tough here early in this game. Even counteracting the Florida Flight's strong guard play with some guard play for themselves.
McCoy can't get that one to go. Coach Evans wants a timeout here with Florida Flight.
Yeah, Coach Evans saw that momentum beginning to shift away from his team, gets a quick timeout, going to try to regroup right here. They had some good possessions on offense, especially with posting tighter and getting in the lane, drawing some fouls, but as of late here, they're giving up some things in transition, and quite honestly, you can't do that. You're going to have to fix that, make sure that you got a guard rotating back, take away the easy buckets before you can begin to turn this back in your favor.
Ready to resume play, 17-5 ball game, 6:50 and counting left to play. Nice defense there by Tara Lynn Dominic. Able to poke it away and go to the deck to get it. Nice pass, the jump shot, too strong. Chandler trying to get it ahead there to Yo-Yo, unfortunately for them. Team Arkansas Elite all over it. Dominic with a little bit too much sauce on that one. Jessica Font with the layup on the other end.
And you said it exactly right there, Marcus. Maybe a little bit too much sauce. I love those moves there. And, you know, she felt like she had it going, but you just got to have a little bit of recognition to know when you've gone too deep, too many defenders around you, find the open player. Overall, Dominic has played very well, distributing the ball, making the right play. You know, you've seen the defense earlier.
Drawing the foul there, Randy Chandler of George Jenkins High School there in Florida. Ready to check back into the game for Team Arkansas Elite, Rakia Lane. Next dead ball. Our next opportunity, I should say. She'll come in now. First free throw knocked down by Chandler. Also coming into the game for Team Arkansas Elite, number 10, Jada Robinson. (21-5) advantage. Team Arkansas Elite has been able to hang around, but you don't want to see the 16-point advantage stretched out in 20 plus.
Florida Flight switched to a zone here, really throwing the Arkansas Elite off a little bit. Tell that Coach Williams not happy with that possession. You know, just some zone ideas for you as Team Arkansas Elite actually getting some good second chance opportunities. When you face a zone, more than anything else, just because they're packed into the lane doesn't mean that you should, you know, just settle for outside jumpers. Instead, you got to find ways to get the ball into the lane yourself. You know, whether that be at the free throw line, you know, even down on the low block. I don't know if we had some synergy stats, Marcus. You could probably, you know, find that when the ball goes inside and comes back outside, your percentage of shots are much higher than when you just pass it around, you know, from perimeter spot to perimeter spot. That's going to be the challenge here for Arkansas Elite because, you know, at the moment they don't have a dominant post presence, you know, in there that they feel like that they can just dump it in there. But just because you're playing against the zone doesn't mean that, you know, you can't try to attack the gaps and create some points.
Especially with the kind of quickness that Team Arkansas Elite has.
Yeah, absolutely. And just getting that ball to move quick from side to side a lot of times can open up some gaps, some lanes in that zone. But when a team plays a zone defense, what they want you to do is to fire up the quick three-point shot.
Yeah.
And then guess what? You fire it up, they've already got an advantage on the defensive glass, and you know, then they're going to look to run the other direction. So see what Arkansas Elite, what adjustments they can make, and Coach Williams can get this thing turned around.
You know, the feel of this first half has really been, you know, Florida Flight not necessarily executing the knockout punch just yet, but really just kind of keeping Team Arkansas at bay. You know, a couple jabs, a couple body blows here and there. And for the most part, Team Arkansas Elite has been able to stay within reasonable striking distance. But here, that's a timely bucket right there by Rakia Lane. You know, you have Florida Flight really threatening to kind of take it to the next level and extend the lead beyond 20. So it's a very timely bucket there by Lane.
Yeah, man or zone, you're going to want the ball in Lane's hands to be able to make those plays. But I think the bigger concern right now has to be on the defensive end, finding a way to slow up these Florida guards.
I think the guards have also done a good job in certain instances of recognizing the size advantage that they have with certain matchups and taking advantage of it. You know, Tyler's a guard, but if you saw her the first couple minutes, you might think otherwise based on how often she was going to the post based on her matchups. There's that shot right there by Lane, the one she was missing the first few minutes of the game, but that definitely looked like her cup of tea. She knocks that one down to make it a 25-5 ball game.
Yeah, she's out here hooping a little bit. Love that mid-range game of hers.
Another trip to the free throw line here for Tara Lynn Dominic out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Successful trip to the free throw line there for Dominic, 25. (25-11) ball game. Font with a tough shot. It's no good, but working inside, Yo-Yo Cupidan out of Waukesha High School. Just a trip to the free throw line.
Hall of Fame name right there, Marcus.
Most definitely Yo-Yo. Got to be able to have a little bit of bounce, a little bit of spring in your step. That's Yo-Yo. She knocks down the first free throw. Two minutes, 29 seconds left to play here in the first half. Dominic to Lane. Dominic for three. No good. Long rebound brought in by Chandler. Font's going to try a three-pointer from the corner. It's no good. Lane with the rebound. Team Arkansas Elite's running.
Yeah. Just love her change of pace, direction, her ability to kind of float in the air. She may not have the most size out there on the floor, but she gets the most out of her ability. Most of anybody out there, at least here today.
Lane also out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Can't take advantage of that trip to the free throw line, so she'll have plenty more, though, throughout the course of this game. She needs all the points she can get to try to close this 15-point deficit. Shot off the mark there. Nice defense by Arkansas Elite. Dominic with the push the other way.
Nice finish with the left hand right there by Dominic. Sliding through the defenders, finishing with the left hand. I always like to see the kids be able to finish with either hand around the bucket.
We're seeing Team Arkansas Elite trying to string together some points here. They pulled to within 13, a fresh 5 into the game for Coach Evans and Florida Flight. That 5 including number 5, Jalen Harrison, number 15, Chelsea Johnson, number 11, Anastasia Tyder, number 40, Bailey Wolf, and number 13, Ashley Rodriguez, the initial starting unit. So we approach the final minute here of the first half. That shot off the mark there. Tyder ahead to Harrison. Harrison going to be fouled there by McCoy. Now, plenty of game left, Hemi, but that's a point to where you're experiencing a little momentum if you're Team Arkansas Elite. You pull it to within 13. You're under the minute mark here in the first half and can possibly go in with it only being a single-digit deficit. It's tough to have that last possession that they have as far as the shot that they got.
And that really just boils down to what I call purpose, having purpose with what you're trying to do, not taking just the first shot that you want, but understanding exactly the type of shot that you want. And that really comes from maturity and experience, and I know that Coach Williams will be talking about that come halftime. I like what they were trying to do with that zone offense. I heard Coach Williams, talking about flashing opposite. Got Lane in there, and unfortunately it didn't work out. But just little things like that can give you a little bit more purpose. But speaking of purpose, Florida Flight knows where their bread and butter is, and that's tighter, getting the ball to tighter around the free throw line.
Saw the nice catch and shoot there. Lane off the mark on that three-pointer. She followed up to end the first half with an Antrese McCoy bucket. And pulls them back to within 14 points. So that'll do it for the first half. Be sure to stick with us. We'll have the second half of this matchup coming up in 2 minutes. We're about ready to get the second half started. 29-15 ball game. Team Arkansas Elite ended the first half on a positive note with an Antrese McCoy bucket, but here we see Bailey Wolf striking first for Florida Flight here to open the second period.
Bailey's one of those X factors for Florida Flight. If she can add a couple of key buckets every here and there, obviously it's this guard-oriented team, but Wolf is certainly capable of pouring in some buckets when she can. As she gets rolling here this second half, it could be a long second half for Team Arkansas.
Tighter trying to lead Chelsea Johnson. These are a little too far ahead. Ball back over to Team Arkansas Elite. Tara Lynn Dominic with it. Swings it over to McCoy. Lane with it now.
Oh.
Kanisha Wilson on the shot attempt. Must have been some contact with the body there. Foul goes against Bailey Wolf. Looks like she played pretty good defense on that possession. Free throw off the back of the rim. Not sure whether that first free throw is a case of the ball not lying or just a missed free throw. It's one of those statements a lot of people just use when convenient. And it could have just been an event that happened. That free throw doesn't necessarily have to say that the call was a wrong call, but hey, if it benefits your plight, the ball don't lie.
It's one of those psychological tricks that we play on ourselves, right?
No doubt, man. I think we talked about another one during the PSB summer kickoff with your hand being part of the ball.
Yeah.
If you're on the defense and you swipe through and foul somebody, hey, man, the hand is part of the ball. If you're on the offensive end, that rationale doesn't seem to make much sense.
No, it doesn't.
Wilson working inside. Another block there by Wolf. Off to the races is Harrison. Going to be hard to catch up with her in that setting.
Yeah, tough possession there for Arkansas Elite. You know, the block shot leads to the immediate fast break. And that's one of those examples when your point guard penetrates and you don't have, your off guard rotate back, that turns into a transition opportunity for the other team.
There you go, Rocky.
Johnson intended that pass for Tyder, stolen away. Lane, tough shot to take right there. She misses, but following on the offensive glass is Jada Robinson.
Arkansas Elite may not have, Florida Flight is very guard heavy, but let's face it, Team Arkansas is very guard heavy themselves.
Yeah.
Finding ways to get, second chance opportunities, even as guards. I think that's one of the overlooked parts of the game of basketball is how well can your guards rebound, especially on the offensive end. Normally we talk about, your big kids rebounding, but we've seen it, before, Marcus, shooting guards like Sierra Rice that are so willing to slash in there. Sometimes that can be the game changer.
Yeah.
You can get extra possessions just by, rebounding the ball off of missed shots.
Nice block by Lane from behind on Tyler, but she fouls her on the second attempt. Anastasia Tyler to the free throw line. Tyler out of Colonial High School in Florida. Into the game for Team Arkansas Elite number 2, Jakaylin Jones. Tyler off on the second free throw. 12 minutes, 55 seconds and counting left to play here in the second half. Jones with it out top. Lane had a little bit of space, but Bailey Wolf closed it quickly, gets the block, but Team Arkansas retains possession. Another block for Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf doing a good job down there of just playing straight up, getting her hands straight up. The one foul that she had called on her, a moment ago, the official would have said, well, and there she comes up with yet a third block on the same possession. She didn't have her hands straight up on that one foul, but great example when you've got some length. You don't have to jump very high to, alter even block shots.
That Harrison three is no good. Wolf with the rebound and fouled on the shot. You mentioned how Bailey Wolf could definitely be problematic for Team Arkansas Elite here in this second half. And when you look at should be able to get a few points here from the free throw line, but when you look at the points she's prevented Team Arkansas Elite from getting, that's an 8-point impact easily.
Now you begin to understand why college coaches are always looking for height. Hey, I need a big player. I need a big person. And even if they're not a double-digit scorer, what Wolf brings to the table. Even if she doesn't get a lot of primary touches in the half court, she's going to affect the game, like you said, by blocking shots, getting rebounds. I think she's going to be a fine college player, just based off of those things. Now there's an example there where if she would have just gone straight up, kept those fingers pointed to the ceiling, I'm not so sure that Dominic right here would have been able to finish that.
Yes.
But instead, she kind of comes over and, I get it. It's hard sometimes, especially when you're on the move. You lose balance, and sometimes you stumble into a kid like that. But I think that's a great lesson for a lot of young kids, big kids at that. Just keeping those hands straight up, and you can affect the game just by being there, by being a presence.
Harrison going to get it over to Fonta Johnson. Cumbie trying to post up inside, gets the positioning. Nice quick move to score it.
Good move there by Cumbie. Had an older sister, as a matter of fact, that I'm sure at one point or another might have been on the SUVtv. It was probably back with our iHigh days. Can I say that on the air? Can I still mention that term, Marcus? Sorry about that.
Oh, definitely, man. No problem, man.
Played with some of the Blue Star Florida teams.
Ray Allen won a championship with the Miami Heat, but he can still appreciate the Celtics days,
Okay. Appreciation or give credit where credit's due with the people from iHigh. Oh boy, good move. Good action right there. The Florida Flight, they've got this little horn set where they'll step one post player out, and then they're flashing the other post player down to the block. And normally what happens is that Tyder is able to get that defender on her rear, get the post up. Well, Arkansas Elite, the defender had made the adjustment and had jumped that, so not, as to not allow her post up, and guess what? She just goes back door right there. There's a lot of space down there, and if you don't get the help side with that fifth defender from the opposite corner, well, there's a lot of space to maneuver and operate down there.
Spacey lead right now for Florida Flight. Just over 10 minutes left for Team Arkansas Elite to try to erase it.
And again, you see the very same action right there. The defender has cut off Tyder as to prevent that direct post feed. But what's happened is that opposite defender is locked in on the wing over there and able to get that backdoor cut.
See the push ahead and the assist. It's finished by number 2, Jakaylin Jones.
We haven't talked a lot about Jones here today, but Jones is a 2017 forward and one of these kids that I think Coach Williams is going to be able to build around for the future. Had a chance to watch her last night as well too over on court 4. Good size for a 4 player, can put it on the deck facing up. She works on that weak hand a little bit to be able to attack left or right. She's going to be a good prospect. Good sideline out of bounds action right there by Coach Evans and the Florida Flight. Got the back screen right off the side. Marcus, how many sideline out of bounds plays have we seen this summer, huh?
We've seen plenty, man. They must be checking out CoachHemi.com often, man. They got it saved as a favorite.
Yeah, for you coaches out there that haven't visited my site, CoachHemi.com, it's a website designed specifically for coaches. Lots of X's and O's. I'm an X's and O's junkie, in case you haven't been able to tell. We got some coaching notes on there, some clinic notes. Also starting to put in some training videos as well too from some of our lead trainers, Christian Simmons, We Work Hoops. So really just trying to make it and a good jumper there by Cumbie, a 3-point jumper. Trying to make it a potpourri of information for coaches at any level. Travel coaches, high school coaches, even college coaches can get on there and learn something.
Most definitely. Be sure to check it out. Basketball never stops, neither does the learning aspect. Font gets it ahead to Johnson. Johnson to Tighter. Well-oiled machine break there.
And just as Florida Flight ran into the buzzsaw of all Ohio yesterday, Coach Williams and Team Arkansas Elite, they're running into the buzzsaw of Florida Flight.
Yeah, they say it's a matter of, sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. Florida Flight playing the role of the bear here today. Team Arkansas Elite, really when you look at the way Florida Flight has played, while you're not looking for a moral victory, Coach Williams nor his players, they've had to play at a certain level just to keep it, from getting beyond that, that team deficit. It's been 13, 14.
Mm-hmm.
They threatened, got it down to I think as low as 11, but Flight has always been able to keep a certain amount of distance. But you haven't seen Team Arkansas Elite just give them the game away or, compound the Flight's efficiency with panic or not being able to make things happen on their end.
Well, when you look at it from a numbers standpoint, Tighter and Lane have, been pretty much even. Dominic has played well. But I think it's just a numbers issue that Coach Williams he's playing some younger kids that still learning the game, still trying to, learn their production. A good pull-up jumper there in the mid-range there by Lane. Florida Flight just has a little bit more experience, kids that are ready to contribute at a high level. And when you look at, not just, your fourth and fifth options, but coming off the bench with kids that can produce, I think that's why you see the deficit the way it is. Got to give Florida Flight a lot of credit for that.
Font, that shot in and out. McCoy able to pick up the pieces. Gets it over to Dominic. Dominic weaving through.
I love that kid. I'm telling you, Marcus, I really like her game. Maybe a little short, but I have an appreciation for smaller players that play with a chip on their shoulder. Nice jumper by the young kid, number 2, Jacqueline Jones.
Also lost there on the spin move by Yo-Yo. Lane drops it off. Nice strip. I believe that was Cumbie got a hand in there, but working, not giving up on the play. Kaylin Jones.
Love Coach Williams' enthusiasm. He's coached from tip, clear into this regardless of what the score is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to get discouraged, but he's never given up on these girls. He's been imploring them. He yells at them, sure, encouraging them. But hey, when things are going right, I love coaches that, just become, cheerleaders for the team and, really get excited for what's going on. Nice jumper there by Font.
I definitely agree with you, Hemi, as far as the, the coach's disposition and, having something that the players can feed off of and, be able to keep their heads in the game and continue to get better. even if the scoreboard might not be in their favor that particular matchup.
You know, every possession is important, and the game's never over until the final buzzer. And I'm telling you right now, Florida Flight play well. High ball screen there by Font. Use a little hesitation move. She gets down into the lane, draws the defense up, kicks it to the open shooter. That's textbook basketball right there.
Three-pointer knocked down by Yo-Yo. Gonna have a foul here on the floor. Team Arkansas's ball along the baseline. 5 minutes, 55 seconds left to play. They pass too tall for Jones. Cumbie has it stripped away, but it looks like Tara Lynn Dominic going to be called for the foul.
What a great example of a missed layup on one end can lead to a layup on the other end. A shot there by Cumbie.
Checking back into the game for Team Arkansas, elite number 13, Kai Richardson. As well as number 10, Jada Robinson. Lane stops and pops, she misses. Jones puts her head down. Cumbie gets the block though. Good hustle by both teams there.
No doubt, no doubt. Playing hard here. Several college coaches on the back line here watching this game. Georgia State, High Point, Clemson, South Alabama. All in the building to take in this game. Good opportunity for some exposure here in July.
Randy Chandler with it. Cumbie gonna try a three-pointer.
Okay, Cumbie, good shot.
Cumbie's produced off the bench for Florida Flight here in this game.
Yeah, she's had a better second day here in Franklin. There's a young kid, Jacqueline Jones, getting another layup. And that's going to be the challenge for Cumbie right here. I think her game is that right there. Nice attack, just didn't fall for her. She can be a four player, and I like to call him a pick and pop four player. Set a screen, pop to the arc. See her get a rebound right here. If she can hit that trail three consistently, the pick and pop jumper consistently, she's going to be a productive player, you know, at the next level.
Four minutes, 19 seconds left to play. A jump shot knocked down by Robinson. Cumbie back out to Font.
Boy, so tough. What was that conversation that we were having about the mid-range game the other day, Marcus?
Yeah, no doubt, man. We got to clip that and send it to the clip guru himself, Chris Watkins.
She's got a great mid-range game. You know, not everybody can do what she does. But go full speed, pull up on a dime. Really the first player that I can remember in my young days of a guy just going full speed and then just pulling up on the spot and going up with it was Kenny Anderson back in his Georgia Tech days.
And Kenny, as we see it's Yo-Yo with the bucket inside there. Yep, so Anderson definitely turned that ability as well as his others into a solid career in the NBA.
Yeah, I remember watching him at Georgia Tech for Bobby Crimmins. He was a one-and-done guy, wasn't he?
I'm not sure, Amy.
I think he was. I remember watching him, and one of those first kind of New York ball players that I remember watching, just point guard, handle, and score. Unique player. You don't see players like that just every year.
Subbing back into the game, Team Arkansas, number 21, Madison Jones. Dominic off the mark on the three. Comby gets it ahead to Font.
Good hustle there by Dominic. Misses the jumper on one end and then hustles back to be able to get a deflection on the other end. You know, people talk about playing hard, you know, all the time. And I think sometimes that term gets overused. And I think sometimes players and fans and coaches alike need specific examples of what does it mean to play hard.
Yeah.
And that's a great example right there. Running from baseline to baseline just to get a deflection. Not necessarily even a steal or force a turnover, but just to prevent the other team from making a play themselves.
Working on the inside, Chastity Moore. She get her first trip to the free throw line. 1 minute, 55 seconds left to play in this one. Moore off the mark on the first free throw. Next matchup will be Winston-Salem Steelers Grant versus Team All In. Comby, nice rebound inside. Short of flight. Taking their time, kind of taking the air out of the ball. Comby off on the shot, but still like what she's able to do.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we talked about, you know, her role as a, you know, forward player setting that ball screen. I like her ability. She's showing me a little bit more today than what she showed me yesterday. Catching in that high post area, facing up, being able to put it on the floor. I think she can become a mismatch forward player, and you know, if she can really round out her jump shot making skills, get that to be more consistent, I think she can become a problem, you know, at that kind of tweener forward position. Coach Evans got a roster full of talent. You know, both on the floor and on the bench. You know, they come with, you know, 5 kids, you know, in and out that can all play.
So we'll approach the final 20 seconds of this one. We appreciate you joining us here on Prospects Nation, powered by the SUV. As I stated, we'll have one more Real Deal in the Ville Session 2 broadcast coming up next. Winston-Salem Steelers Grant versus Team All In. I'm Marcus Burnett. He's J.L. Hemingway. And thanks for joining us.